Hey everyone, welcome to, well, technically, this is Isophit. It's all about erectile dysfunction today. Our question is, can Isophit help with erectile dysfunction? Well, I'd love to say it's a hard question to answer, but it's not. The answer is yes, it can. And here's why. When looking at erectile dysfunction, one thing that we need to recognize is when we're looking at the penile structure is that there is 5, not 1 or 2, there are 5 arteries that basically engorge the penis with blood. Now, one of the things that I want you guys to think about is traditionally, erectile dysfunction is a precursor to heart disease, hypertension, and potentially even premature, pun intended, death, right? And the reason for that is because if you got plaque buildup in your circulatory system, it can manifest in other areas outside your heart. So if you guys are out there are basically having some issues with getting erections, here's something to think about. Go get your blood pressure checked. Go get your, well, go get it looked at. Go see a urologist because there's some underlying issues. Whether there's future past trauma to the local area, you could have some plaque buildup within your basically arteries of your penis, arteriosclerosis. I can never say that word. I'll have to practice that about 1,000,000 times. But anyways, one thing I want you guys to think about is improving your cardiovascular system is imperative. And one thing that we know from Isophit training is it helps reduce blood pressure. Now, one thing I also want you to think about is if you tighten the abdominal wall, right? So as we stand up, so if we're standing up, and let's say we got a big, huge gut here, and that's going to pull our spine into further extension. It might be putting pressure on some of the arteries that are deep inside, that are complex names, put them under a little bit of stretch. And when you put an artery under stretch, what happens is it's like a tube, right? Like if I have a tube, if I stretch a tube, it narrows. And when you narrow a tube, what happens is there's going to be a little bit of a bottleneck, but it becomes like almost like a funnel from a wider diameter to a narrow diameter. And what happens when you have plaque in there, it can actually act as basically a barrier and create backflow issues, which impedes blood flow to the penis. Anyways, that's how Isophit can help with erectile dysfunction by improving your circulatory system as a whole, reducing your blood pressure as a whole, and generally speaking, increasing the intra-abdominal pressure to help with better alignment so you can get rid of some of those kinked arteries within your structure. Anyways, that's how Isophit can help. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow on Isophit Q&A.